I am back, okay? I'm back. And this is my review for The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 15, Episode 11. So the episode starts back off with Drew being dramatic, storming out because Sheree, I guess, is not apologizing to her or bringing up her lawsuit. And this is the thing that I was saying about Drew. Drew is an actress by trade. She acts. And you can pretty much tell that she's acting. That's why I said I don't think that Drew fits this show, because it's about reality and she's an actress and she acts. Kenya is an actress as well. I mean, she hasn't acted in a while. I mean, that's no shade, but you still get real moments from her. Drew is very inauthentic, and it's very apparent, at least for me. I can see where she's just putting on, and it doesn't make the show authentic. So Sheree, Kenya, and Sonya walk out after Drew and try to help her, console her, and Drew is saying, you know, I was sued for $1,000. It's not about the money. Kenya is saying, how many people are here? We could split it by 8 to give to Drew to pay the $1,000. No. And Drew said it's not about the money. Then what is it about, Drew? If the lady is suing you for $1,000, everything else in a lawsuit is irrelevant. I think she's suing you for $1,000. If it was for something else, you would have said that. So if it's about the money, just give her the money to go away. But Drew is making it more than what it is. Then she states that a manager was hitting up Ralph for a massage. At the video shoot, Ralph was being oiled down. Was it by the manager? I don't know who it was. And she doesn't trust Ralph in Las Vegas. Did you trust him in Tampa, Florida? I don't understand Drew. I don't understand Drew. It's like, girl. The ladies confront Kandi about not being available. Kandi said previously that she was doing Escape, or just finished doing the Escape show, and she was touring with her group, and she's very busy, so she's not present. I mean, I don't know, because Kandi has always been busy, but she was able to be a part of the group. So I guess they're like, Kandi, you're not available, you know, you're not here to film with us. And I think behind the scenes, they probably feel like, girl, Kandi, girl, you the highest paid one, but you ain't here. They gonna have to divide that money up between us because we here working. I think that's what it's about. I mean, but Kandi is actually working. Unlike when Kim wasn't coming up to the scenes and everything, Kim just didn't want to be there. Leaving scenes early and everything. Kandi is, at least she is working. But Kandi, girl, you gonna have to decide. Candi's probably exhausted. She probably stretches herself too thin, but like she said, it's not hard to get something. It's hard to kind of maintain it. So she doesn't ever want to lose it. So I don't know what to tell her. I mean, yes, you do need rest, but I mean, I understand why she works and everything. I don't know. She's a workaholic. She likes to work. She likes to be busy. She likes to be occupied. She may need to take some time for herself, but it seems as if Kandi is like the provider, not just for her immediate family, but for like a huge part of her family. So I think that's why she goes so hard and works so much. So I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. So they're on their way to a market to pick their food out for dinner or lunch. And Kenya walks out and falls. Almost broke her hip. Okay. So everybody's on a bus. Finally, Sheree gets up and, goes to check on her. And everybody else comes out to check on her. So she goes to the hospital. She asks Candy if she can, ride with her. So Candy said, okay. Then Drew and Courtney are talking. And then Courtney says, the universe has a way of forcing things when it's necessary. In reference to Kenya falling. And says that Kenya is a mean girl. In my last review, I said, okay, Courtney, she will be fine. I want to get to know more about her story. But after Courtney said that, absolutely not. I don't think Courtney should come back. Who says that? That lady could have busted her head, died, left her child here by herself. Because, let's call a thing a thing. Really, Kenya don't have that much family, and especially in Atlanta. And the family that she does have is probably older. They're not like Brooklyn's age. So she could have really injured herself. And for Courtney to say that, and she's a crisis management, a crisis manager. What? I just felt it takes an evil person to say something that they wish somebody, but that's karma for them. That's karma for them. And I know people say, oh, that's that person karma, that's that person karma. Most people use that. But not when they hurt or can possibly injure themselves. That's something totally different. That's something totally, to me it is. So for that, I feel like Courtney, no. Please don't bring her back, because that's somebody that's evil. And that's the worst kind of evil. Girl, you wishing harm on people, or that's what she get because she's so evil? No, you don't do that to nobody. No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. She that evil that you want her to fall and break her head? She did something like that to you? They go to the market, pick out the food, and they go to dinner afterwards, and Marlo brings up her first date with Scott Lee. Somebody brings it to Marlo's attention that Kenya said that the relationship is fake. It's a Tinder relationship. And Marietta starts to talk to Marlo, and she says she felt like Marlo was taking Kenya's thunder when Kenya was, showing everybody that Roy is the guy that she's dating, and Marlo said, oh, I went on a date with Roy. She also accuses Marlo of going to the DM and showing, I guess, everybody. And she's like, I guess that's tacky, or it was not necessary. She was doing too much. Now, Marietta. Hey, Marietta, how you doing? Marietta, girl, you sound like a hypocrite. Marietta and Kenya were very direct and very adamant about showing Sheree the DM that Martell had sent her. It wasn't that same year. I think it was a couple years back. But Kenya wanted to tell Sheree that Martell DM'd her. And like I said in my last review, everybody said, oh, it's not the same situation. It absolutely is the same situation to me, to Rochelle, okay? It's the same. And let me tell you why. Unless Roy lives under a rock, he knew Marlo was on the Housewives. He replied to her, I don't care if it was a DM, a story, a reel. He replied to something that she posted. So it don't have to go into no inbox. He replied. Yes, she asked a question, but he didn't have to reply. Who's Roy? Who's Roy? He know who Marlo was. He know Marlo was on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So to act like Roy is like this, oh, yeah, Martell, we know what he's about, but Roy, no. In my mind, we don't know who Roy is. Seriously, we don't know who Roy is. So I know Roy know that Marlo is on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I think if Marlo wanted to continue to talk to him, I think Roy would have been on the show if Marlo had welcomed him on the show. I don't care that Marietta introduced Roy to Kenya. So what? He still know Kenya is on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So even though, and the difference between what happened with Kenya and Martell and Roy and Marlo actually went out on a date. Whether it was lunch, breakfast, dinner, they went out on a date. Martell and Kenya did not go out on a date. And to me, I mean, let's just be real. Kenya really not warning Sheree about anything. Sheree doesn't live under a rock. Sheree know who Martell was. Sheree know exactly who Martell is and what he's about. So, to me, Kenya telling Sheree about the DM, it really didn't matter. It didn't matter. I mean, yes, I'm glad that she did tell him, but it really didn't matter because Sheree knows who Martell is. Now, Roy, on the other hand, we don't know who Roy is. Maybe Marlo has some pertinent information to tell Kenya, even though she didn't. But I'm just saying, that's the difference between the situations. And it's, to me, the same situation. And I think Marietta is a little delusional, because, girl, you and Kenya did the exact thing that Marlo did. And yes, Marlo gets on people's nerves, but Marlo was well within her right to tell Kenya, yes, I went on a date with him. Just like she told Sheree. Whether they friends or not, to me, that's irrelevant. To me, it is. It's irrelevant. They all in the same friend circle on this show, so Marlo let it be known. But I still got my good out on Roy, because we don't know who Roy is. Only Marietta know. And you know how the show is. They'll say, make up, that's your friend. And Marietta probably don't even know Roy. Marietta probably don't even know him. So, I got my good out on Roy. I still do. Sheree in this confessional with the blue and the blonde ponytail, that's the Sheree I know. The Sheree in the purple that got stung by a bee, I don't know that Sheree. I don't know that Sheree. This blue corset Sheree, awesome, beautiful, beautiful. Drew in his zebra print, absolutely not. Absolutely not, Drew. It's something about zebra print that is so tacky to me. I don't know what it is. Zebra print is tacky to me. To Rochelle, it's tacky, just like the white shoes. It's tacky. It's tacky. Drew looks awful in that confessional. She looks awful with that zebra outfit. I don't know who gave her that, but they tried. I don't know. They set her up because it didn't look good. Sheree's having, I guess, a slumber party in her room. You know, everybody puts on their pajamas. She said Candy walked in there like Cleo from Set It Off. That was funny. That was funny. I mean, Candy did walk in there like a little frumpy. But that's okay. Candy is tired. Candy is just barely making it. You know, Candy is booked and busy. So I guess Candy said, you gonna take this gray sweatshirt, okay? I barely wasn't gonna come, so you're gonna take this sweatshirt. Drew confronts Candy about the comment about Anseen. Okay, Candy apologizes about that. Then we get on, you know, Candy asking Drew about Drop It with Drew, how's it going? And Drew says it's going okay. Then Sheree says, you know, you guys haven't even purchased anything from my website. Sonya says, girl, I was gonna purchase something, but when I was trying to purchase it, the link wasn't working. And Sheree was like, girl, I gave you $5,000 for your, you know, your charity event. Marlo says, well, the people say it's too expensive and it's from Alibaba. And Candy was like, well, I never said it was too expensive. Okay, Miss Multi-Million-Dollar Barris, of course you're not going to say it's expensive. You could afford it. You could afford it. But the average person, $274, I'm still stuck on that $274. I'm not paying $274 for a sports bra and a pair of leggings. I'm sorry, Sheree, this is not, it's athleisure. I already said this before. It's athleisure. It's athleisure. Okay, girl, it's athleisure. Athleisure. And yes, you can set your price point however you want, but if you want to, I won't say make money, but if you want to appeal to the masses with athleisure, which I think you should, you want everybody to be able to purchase the athleisure, you know? Everybody wears it. Everybody. You should come down on your price point. I don't think that's too much to ask. $274, the average person is not going can't afford that. And the ones that can afford it, they're not going to buy it. I'm not buying it. And I was willing to support Sheree, but she know daggone well. I'm sorry, Sheree. You know $274 for a sports bra and some leggings is too expensive. That's just too expensive, and I don't think that's a good price point. I just don't. I think more people would be more supportive. The general public would be more supportive if your price point was a little lower. Now, when it comes to the ladies on the show, now in Sheree's defense, okay? In Sheree's defense, even though, because Sonya was like, well, the website was down when I purchased it, and people went on with their life. No, Sonya, that's not what you do. She gave $5,000 to your charity event. You need to be checking the website every day, looking to see if it's back up to support Sheree. You just don't want to buy anything. You don't want to buy anything. And Sheree has said she went to Candy's restaurant, bought people. She bought from Candy's tag store. She supported, what's her name? Sonya. Sheree supports people's, you know, the things that they have, at least for the people on the show. So I feel like they should support Sheree. They should support Sheree. Really, honestly, I think they should. They can afford it. They should support her. Yes, her website was down. To us, we not about to keep checking the website. But the people on the show who she has supported with their endeavors, y'all need to support her. Okay? Because we not doing it. Y'all support her. Because she does support everybody else on the show. That's just how I see it. And Marlo was like, you haven't bought nothing from the archive. Girl, you worse than Sheree. Nobody is renting a bathing suit off of the archive. Marlo, you not the average size woman. Marlo is, I'm not trying to be funny. Marlo is tall. She has a nice body, nice shape. But she's a tall woman. The average person can't fit Marlo's stuff. The last scene, they talk about Drew and LaToya making out when they were in Charleston. Drew is straight up denying it. Candy is like, girl, you're not gonna call me a liar. I know what I saw. See Drew. See Drew. That's what I'm saying about Drew. That's what I'm saying about Drew. Lying for what? I don't understand why she's lying, because clearly Ralph is getting oiled down. You know, he going to places he not supposed to be going. He in Tampa, you don't even know, for a whole week, and you worried about kissing LaToya or making out with LaToya? Absolutely not. You should have said I did and doubled down on it. I don't understand what is it a religious thing? Might be, because I think her mom is a pastor, but what's the reason for denying it when your spouse is allegedly looking like he out here, even though there's no proof, but that we know of, girl, going to Tampa, missing, not even answering for 4 or 5 days. What? Please. Candy said she saw it. Marlo said she saw 80% of it. So 80% is more likely than not. Okay, that's over 50%. So Marlo saw this. Marlo saw it as well. I don't know what is the point in Drew lying about it, but whatever. That's my review for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 15, episode 11. So I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye. Bye.